Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the program Spot On. My name is Jacqueline Adibija. On Spot On, you know what we do? We take a look at our society through the social prism. Now, a quick update on what we talked about last week. You remember that last week we had talked about how children being maltreated in schools, and there was the particular case of Mercy Home Schools. I hear that some reforms are already going on. Indeed, Ambaju was there and followed up on this story. I heard some dismissals had taken place, and we're still looking at that particular story because it is an orphanage, and if you're doing that, an orphanage that actually allows for parents to bring their children to. And so if you're having people who have parents complain about maltreatment, then what do we say about those who are under the care of the orphanage that don't have parents to look out for them? Like I said, I hear that reforms are taking place there already, just so that you know. However, you can send me text messages to the number 090-7270-3270. Once again, that's 090-7270-3270. As an update, I mean, if you're a parent there and you're still not satisfied, or in fact, a parent in any other school where you feel that untoward things are going on, would love to hear from you. And then, of course, thanks to Nambaju, who particularly went there to ensure that, yes, we followed up on that story. Moving on. We're live on Facebook already, so you can check us out there and leave your messages. We'll take a look at them and, take your questions in real time. You know, as a nation, as a society, there are so many things that need to be done, like done yesterday, that we know. But then again, there are so many people who fall through the cracks. We don't remember them. We don't talk about them. They are almost, if not completely, invisible. And this year, as the world paused to not just remember, but celebrate them, they decided that the theme for this year would be Invisible Women, Invisible Problems. I'm talking about the widows in our society. Every year on the 23rd of June, these people are celebrated, they're remembered. I mean, it should be every day. And for the United Nations to have stepped up to say, look, we need to have an international day for it. As a matter of fact, in the United Kingdom, in the United States, I beg your pardon, I hear the 3rd of May every year, they actually have their own national day for widows. That's how much or how important that they feel that this situation or this, inevitable kind of situation demands or demanded. And so they have these people remembered specially on those days. When the world pauses to remember a certain matter, then you should know that indeed that matter requires attention. I mean, the UN, no less, has said, look, let us talk about these people, these women who somehow just fall through the cracks. Nobody cares about them, not too many people anyway. And that is why, with pleasure, today, right here at Invicta, we have the pleasure of welcoming these Amazons, I would like to call them, from the Wounded Not Broken Foundation. And in the studio, we have the chairperson of that foundation in the person of Oge Nonyenlua. Nonyenluna. I know you're going to correct me. And then we have Queen Anita Anekwe. I'm pretty sure I got that. I nailed that one. And then Blessing Ajuluchuku. Ajuluchuku, who is the secretary. Queen is actually the vice chairperson, and then, of course, the secretary in the person of Blessing Ajuluchuku. All three of them are here. We have the chairperson, the vice chairperson, and the secretary. Tells us how important and close to their hearts this particular matter is. And so with joy, I welcome you. You're welcome, Oge, Blessing, and Queen. Great to have you with us this evening.
Thank you very much.
The widows, trying to do some research on this, it blew my mind that world over, the numbers I was seeing was close to 245 million widows actually worldwide. And I didn't know that we had that many. I mean, like 245 million out of, give or take, about 8 million.
Whoever, once they hear you're a widow, there's this body language, you understand. But
you're sure this is not coming from the widow's mind?
No.
It is really from society.
Yeah, it's really from the society, because you might have a free mind. I see this person, let's talk, but the way they will now give you that cold treatment will make you to draw back into your shell that, okay, maybe I'm not fitting in anymore. You understand? But then the religious bodies, some of them are doing well. Some of them are doing quite well.
I must
commend them. While some, they still don't understand what it means to be a widow. That you should not stigmatize, at least carry them along.
They're still human beings.
Yes, they're still human beings.
With feelings.
Yeah.
If you're just joining us this evening, we're talking about the International Widows' Day. It is a UN-recognized day, and so it isn't something that should be taken lightly. All over the world, on the 23rd of June, these special people are remembered. Let's go on a quick commercial break. When we get back, we'll be talking more about the plight of widows. This particular year, we have the theme, Invisible Women, Invisible Problems. Stay with us.
Sakwatin Power Oil, Naira Sabayin, Naira Sabayin. Sakwatin Power Oil, Naira Sabayin, Naira Sabayin. Mijonada Fuwa, Naira Sabayin. Olafia Iyali, Naira Sabayin. Ede Kite Marake, Naira Sabayin. Sakwatin Power Oil, Naira Sabayin. Power Oil.
And now, therefore, keep your favorite Nigerian Idol contestant on the show by voting every Sunday to Wednesday. SMS vote and the contestant unique number to 32053 at 30 Naira per SMS on MTN, Airtel, and 9 Mobile. Or visit africanmagic.tv/Nigerian Idol to vote for free. Active customers can vote on the MyGoTV app and get up to 350 AWOOF votes. Catch the Nigerian Idol live shows Sundays at 7 p.m. on African Magic Family, Channel 2. Download MyGoTV app to recharge your subscription and let the music move you. Nigerian Idol is sponsored by Biggie Drinks and Techno Mobile. GoTV. Love it.
Enter the place and it brighten. Make everybody they wonder. Waiting because of the shine. Lush hair. Long hair or short doesn't matter. Crochet or dreadlocks can be better. Only for girls we know better. Lush hair. So you want to slay? Slay with swag. Gotta be lush hair. Gotta be lush hair. Straight up curly. You know they tango. Lie. Gotta be lush hair. Gotta be lush hair. Wonder how I shine like this. I'm on a lush hair, be the coco. Say you want to know. And if you wanna be fine like me, I can show you where to go. A lush hair, be the coco.
Beautiful people know how to make an impression, and that's why they only trust Lush Hair Extensions to bring out the shine in them. Lush Hair, be beautiful.
All right, Thank you for staying with us. Still on the program, Spot On, with the chairperson, vice chairperson, and secretary of Wounded Not Broken Love Foundation, talking about Oge Nonye and Queen Anita Nekwe, Blessing Ajuluchuku. They're all here with us in the studio. And before we went on that break, we had talked to the point of stigmatization. And I remember asking the question, are you sure that this is not in the minds of the widows? You know, because there's a lot of psychological trauma going on. So are you sure that this stigmatization or supposed stigmatization is mainly not happening in the mind of the widow? And Oge, you had something interesting to say. I think it deserves to be heard out there.
When you're talking about it's not the mind of widows, I stand to say that it's not the mind of widows. I was once a victim of such when a woman told me, who is also my family friend, that she doesn't like the way I come close to the husband. And shockingly, I don't even have such. One is that what I'm carrying is more than what she is saying. So you can imagine the myopic mind of such person looking at me, telling me that I'm still very young, that anything can happen, that I have an attraction, this and that. And so these are some of things. And what so many times you find out that it's what they sit down, their subconscious mind brings it to their conscious mind. They speak all manner of things. But I thank God how the man tackled the issue. So it's not that widows are thinking. It's happening and still happening. Even as I'm talking now, someone might be saying they're doing it. But mind you, we are all potential widows.
Wow. A powerful statement there. You know, and you say this woman was your friend.
Yes.
Family friend. Someone
yeah.
that you were relating with. It wasn't a stranger.
Not a stranger.
Let me ask you, Queen, this stigmatization, from what demographic of the society do you face, or do widows face, you know, this stigmatization more? Is it the women, or are we having more men, you know, stigmatizing?
Women, mostly. Just as she said. Even myself, I'm a victim of that. Like, for example, I went to see a friend to register her for something. So reaching there, one woman with Sienna saw me and she admired me. She told that my friend that she wants me to be her friend. So from there, she asked the woman that she should bring me to their house.
Okay.
I said, okay. I'm not the kind of person that visits people. That's my problem, my weak point. So that day, even when I came back, I told her. So that day, the following day when I came, so that my friend started laughing. That the woman asked her, what kind of business or where am I working? She said, no, that I'm a widow. The woman said, no, please don't bring her. I don't like bringing widows to my house because of my husband. Then I started laughing. I now told her, I said, go back and tell her that I'm not even interested. Luckily, the same person is a member of their church. That's the truth about the whole issue. So there are many, not from men, mostly from women. Women are the one that's had that problem.
That stigmatized
Yes,
widows.
exactly. So we have problem because even your best friend then, immediately your spouse is gone. That your friend, just look at her, just as she said, body language will tell you. She will start going side by side. She will not be coming closer to you again. That's the truth about the issue.
This is truly amazing, because for someone who has lost a loved one, the person is going through a traumatic period. And if God has blessed that union in the sense that it is a marriage that had or has children, this person is not only thinking about herself and what she's going through, she's also thinking about the children, has to be strong for them, has to start thinking about how to fend for those children. And then there is no support network. Nobody wants to be that person's friend. And, except if that person is blessed with a loving family, nobody really wants to be that person's friend. And so it really does paint a very, very bleak picture for any woman who finds herself in that situation. So let me ask Blessing about, we've talked about where society has failed. What about government? There are so many demographics that have been left behind, but is there anything? Because I see, like I told you, I read up on this, and I realized that in so many countries that have advanced, countries that are developed, we're having ministries and, agencies even set up for people's happiness. And so you see that in other countries, you actually have ministries that have been set up for women like that to empower them and, ensure that they don't fall through the cracks. Because I'll tell you that I came across some other horrific stories. I read a story, not in Nigeria anyway, where a woman just felt that, well, since it has come to this, nobody wants me and my children are still pretty young. And she took her life and that of the children. She took her life and that of the children. And so if you're listening to us, just take some moments out of your time and go on Google and just search, the challenges of widowhood worldwide, or just go type something. And I tell you, your eyes will be open to a whole new world that you didn't see at all. This year, we have Invisible Women, Invisible Problems. Let's talk about that, Blessing, especially taking a look at what can be done from the side of government. What do you think?
Okay. As a person, I know that there are laws stipulated. There are international laws, there are national laws, whatever. There are laws. But those laws are only on paper because you don't see people implementing it.
We actually have laws about widowhood in Nigeria?
Yeah, there are some, prohibiting them from all these barbaric acts.
Yes.
But you will see that at the end of the day, it is not being done. Okay, let me give you an example. Like 2 weeks ago, that I know, it was on social media, a woman who lost her husband. So when she came in, they told her that she killed her husband and that she must drink the bath water of the dead man. And it was an ongoing saga. In fact, at a point, it now drew the attention of the government. It happened in Anambra State, precisely. So I think maybe the Commission of Women Affairs or whatever, she came in. Somebody came in from the government to intervene. You understand? But it ends there anyway, because even when she will go back and leave the woman, she will still face those people. So the laws are only on papers. You understand? And even when you want to pursue those laws, or you want them to implement it because something is happening, you have to bring money, a lot of it, and sometimes you don't have it. Sometimes you don't have the money. Even the so-called human rights lawyers, some of them are not helping matters. So the government should also look into that there is full implementation, even to the local government, to the towns, to the villages, even to the kindreds, because it starts from the kindred. Okay, so they should just make sure that it's fully implemented, not only documenting it and telling us that it's there. We know it's there, but we are not seeing the action.
Implementation is a problem.
Yeah.
I'm not alone. We're going to go on a quick commercial break, but before then, my colleague, Jeffrey Adiku, is also here, and is concerned enough to ask that aside from stigmatization, there have been issues of in-laws coming to claim the man's belongings, leaving the woman without anything. Now, in such a case, what can be done? I know you've talked about implementation, but let's talk about what are the immediate steps that a woman like that can take when, in-laws have already come. Like you said, okay, body is even still in the mortuary. The person hasn't been buried yet. Already talk about his property is already going on. What are some of the steps pre and post widowhood that can be taken? Because quickly, just reading Jeffrey's question, for me, I'm thinking, why don't more men put properties in their children's name or in their wives' names or something that is going to, that the law would be able to use to fight for those women?
Actually, what you mentioned something, why not those women? I have found out when I did a sampling that when you tell a man to write a will, the first thing that comes to the man's mind is that you are planning that this man, you want to kill the man. Because of the Africa where we are, especially in Nigeria. And in Nigeria, we are talking about one particular tribe. 90% of Igbo man will not do it. I'm sorry, I'm using Igbo here to say it. Yorubas, maybe you say 60. Hausas have this, their culture that from day one, their tradition made it that a woman gets a property, a man gets a property. I don't know how their people was able to do that. And you find out that because there is no paper, there is no will, it's always a problem. But in issues like this, when the man is still in the mortuary, number one is that when you know the family you comes from, you know the kind of people you are dealing with, you know the kind of society, there is nothing wrong for the woman to wake up and go and table her matter. Call the media. If you don't want to go to the court, just as she said, some of the human rights activists might say that they will help you, but at a time, they start to drop her baby because you are not even giving them mobilization money. And they will feed their homes. The media, when you go to the media, you scream, you shout. People will hear you. Then, secondly, if you know the kind of environment or the home or wherever you come from, call the kindreds. But if they are not helping matters, because this is a big issue that the man will be in the mortuary, somebody is already planning. And when the person is planning, it's not even looking at the way. In fact, I'm sorry to tell you, each time I talk, I use myself as an example. When I lost my husband, shockingly, I don't know whether it's done in their side, but where I come from, I'm from my own side. A widow cannot buy her own burial cloth. I bought mine. I bought my children's own. I transported myself. Let the world hear me. I paid my bills. I came back after the ceremony. People came, they paid condolence, they do all manner of things. The in-laws did not call me to say, this is how much we realized. The day I was going back, nobody gave me 1 kobo. But look at me today, am I not standing tall? I'm happy. So what am I saying? I was trying to make, allow peace to reign. And things was spoiling and spoiling and spoiling. So the best bet is that even when people, because the society we are, they will always say you, the family name, don't talk of the family name. The family name is at stake in issues like this. Please, whoever should not hear that thing. That word is wrong. The person to speak out. I was holding a family name and I know what happened. Today I can't hold a family name. Jacqueline, I cannot.
Wow. This is eye-opening and indeed thought-provoking, talking about the International Widows' Day that is commemorated worldwide on the 23rd of June every year. The plight. Yeah, I'm sure you've been listening. If you've been listening, it is glaring, I would think. And this year, they say invisible women, certainly they're invisible problems. Take a look at our society. There's so many issues around it. We'll be right back after this commercial timeout. Stay with us. Well, welcome back from that commercial break. Still talking about the plight of widows, invisible women, invisible problems. We've taken a look at it, and I'd like to open up the phone lines at this time as we continue to have this conversation with the wounded but not broken Love Foundation members who are here in the studio talking about the International Widows' Day. And so the lines are open. The numbers are 081 40,000 989 and 07087 800 989. Once again, that's 081 40,000 989 and 07087 800 989. We already have a caller here Let's go take this call now. Hello, good evening.
Good evening, Ms. Joplin.
You're welcome.
Good evening to your guest.
Yes, you're
I
welcome.
want to,
Engineer Emmanuel, go ahead. You're welcome.
okay, I think for me, I admire your guest. All she has said, I admire her courage and how you see that what you do, that family men, who does family men first? With this new millennium that we are in, I don't know why men nowadays does not even talk to their brothers or whatsoever. Because sometimes it's like that lack of communication, or the brother gives the man give his younger ones those rights that if he's not around whatsoever. I don't know. I stand to be corrected. Because I don't see any reason why a man and a woman that build their life, have the children, and now today is no more, then somebody else will just come and back everything and push the woman aside. I'm not in support of it. I think, I don't know, the government does not help matters. But if one has the fear of God, I don't think somebody will be behaving like this. Because you don't know how they manage, except even no matter what circumstances the man and the wife are, that it does not warrant the family member to come and pack everything and give the woman. And if they pack, then what happens with the children? So, and just the way she says, women too are not even helping matters. Now look at almost all what she was saying. She still points out on the women that they are the one doing this, doing that. So, but for me, on the nutshell, I don't see any reason why today by God forbid, because there is something that no one can shy away from it. If I'm no more today, I don't think anyone will come and begin to drag property I've neighbor with my family to come and take. Where were you? Where were the person when I was hustling? So I don't
But
think
Engineer Emmanuel, let me quickly ask you, why do men, use their siblings as next of kin when they're already married, they have
now,
children?
let me use myself as an example.
Yes.
Before I got married, my last born in my family, she was my next of kin, which that was our last born, named by Faith. Now, when I got married, my first daughter, then I named her Faith. You see, now when naming her Faith, now they are now my next of kin, not my own brother. I changed it because if one has the fear of God, he will do the right thing.
Right.
Because I just look at it. I think something like this happened this morning in Lukuluku. I had this today or on Tuesday.
Yes.
I said all things that are pursuing their late brother's property is due to laziness. I call it laziness. You do not labor for something you want to come and reap where you not sow.
Yeah, but Engineer Emmanuel, you see, the problem now is that we have a society that actually enables these people. Because if our society frowned on behavior like that, there will be lesser people coming to claim their late brother's property.
The way I look at it, I think the way of one upbringing. If you are brought in the fear of God, this thing belongs to this person. You have a children. How do you expect the children to feed?
Well,
We
thank
see
you.
these things happen these days. But I think the government, if they should come on board, it will help matters. But the government, just like she says from the lawyers, those human rights lawyers, when you don't give them like little things, they leave you on the halfway. So I think there should be an agent that the government will be paying that they will carry this case to an end and see that this woman got justice.
All right.
Or whosoever that was it.
All right.
Because you are telling somebody to write his will, just as to say as an African man, are you wishing me dead? But I think it's the right thing. I don't think a woman should begin to propose that the man, have you write your will? I mean, everybody's mentality are different.
Right. Well, thank you so much, Engineer Emmanuel, for, sharing with us this evening. Indeed, these issues, the society actually enables this thing. And it's not fair to put everything on government. What about our traditional rulers? What exactly are they doing? Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Your name, please?
My name is Victor.
Go ahead, Victor.
Yeah, I think the problem is the system we Nigerian practice patriotic system of government, whereby the men they see them as the head of any family. So I think that is where the issue is. Take example Ghana, the practice matriarchy, where the woman is the head of every thing. So I think they don't face such challenges, unlike Nigeria. Then the culture and religious system. So all those components,
Right.
I think they are the major problem that we find all these things happening in our business. So if we can tackle such things, I think we will not face such challenges again. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you so much, Victor, proffering solutions. You heard Victor coming back to you, Oge and Queen and Blessing. We've heard from Victor, and I'm also asking, what about our traditional rulers? Because way before we are talking about, going to a court of law where you're looking for a lawyer pro bono, if you knew, or if a widow knew that she had recourse to the traditional ruler of that area, knowing that the traditional ruler's words also carry weight. And if that traditional ruler were to say that, look, this family better settle this woman properly, or I will be stepping in to take charge of how these things will be shared, I think that as a society, we would sit up. But what has the experience been with traditional rulers and traditional rulership in our various areas? Let me ask you, Oge, because what are our traditional rulers doing? It's easy to blame government. We're a large country, so we have these people at that level to be able to arbitrate, to be able to take care of issues like this. What has your experience been?
Actually, I'm looking at it in this angle. The norms and value, and then the traditional aspect of things. Our great-grandfather started it. Who will stop it? I want to digress in the issue of outcast in the Eastern Zone. There are people that they call outcasts. You find out that even when you go to a traditional ruler and said, how will you bring these people to be freeborn? They will always be telling you, our great-grandparents did not stop it. How do you expect me? So it boils down to even the issues of where widows are being maltreated. There are some people that in the angle I'm seeing it is that they are deriving joy. Some people, we have sadists. They derive joy seeing somebody suffering. So they were bent on their great-grandfathers are doing it. That is a man's word. Everything, if the woman don't have a male child, she is not entitled to anything. Even when the woman have a male child, the boy have not grown, the brother-in-law will take over. After, then what? You didn't do follow-up. It's your tradition. The brother-in-law will take over. Then when the boy grew, then you did not do follow-up. Even the brother-in-law that you're talking of taking over might even finish the thing before the boy will grow. So I feel that they are not doing anything. Because they are still referring to their great-grandfathers, that they did not abolish it. How do you want me to abolish it? But if we have civilized traditional rulers, educated traditional rulers, people that are exposed, that are traditional rulers, not people that their mindset is so myopic,
Okay.
I feel that they will do something. But you find out that the people that are ruling, the so-called traditional rulers, are people that they were born in that village, grew up in that village, went to nursery school in that village. If they venture to go to secondary school in the same village, they're not exposed. How would they be able to know? So that is the issue.
But that same traditional ruler probably uses a mobile phone. His great-grandfathers did not use a mobile phone.
Good.
Why is he using a mobile phone? These are excuses that not only turn the stomach, they show us up for who we are.
Yes.
We all the time we talk about our government, we talk about the people in power, but they are exactly a reflection of who we are.
Yeah.
Because if as a traditional ruler, knowing that when you say yes, it is yes, because it is believed that it is the voice of the gods, and yet you cannot make simple pronouncements about certain issues that concern your domain. Someone said to me, do you know the plight of children whose fathers died and they'd share them amongst the kindred? Do you know what happens to them? And then you start to remember issues of rape. You think about issues of children, falling through the cracks and becoming criminals. You begin to think of so many things. Why would a traditional ruler not want to do something about that? And you're saying that because your forefathers did not do it. There's so many things our forefathers did not do that we're doing today.
Yes.
And we didn't ask for anyone's permission. So why would any traditional ruler use that as an excuse? Well, still talking to you this evening. You want to call in to join the conversation. The lines are open. Like I said, we're also live on Facebook. Is there anyone out there especially that is facing this kind of discrimination or challenge? I think this would be the time that you might want to either speak up or get in touch with this foundation. But quickly, in our closing moments, I would like for you to talk to all of us about the Wounded Not Broken Love Foundation. What do you do? What can you help people in this condition do? Let's talk about that. Okay, we have a call. Let's quickly take it, and then we'll talk about that. Hello, good evening.
Good evening, ma'am.
Yes, you're welcome. Your name?
That's from Kudenda. Ashil from Kudenda.
Okay, so you have 30 seconds. Please go ahead.
So, people are discussing, it's quite a kind of thing that's on my neck now. Although it's quite long. Since last year, I've been battling the issue. Someone gave birth to all his sons. The husband died this Christmas Hope here. Now they have the whole property of this man. That this woman did not born on time, and the firstborn, the woman killed their brother.
Which woman now? The widow?
Right now,
okay, they said she killed their brother. Okay.
And
okay.
They sued me to find the village. I want to see they say I did not have that right to hold any of the man's property. So the boy, and they will collect the boy from, I don't know how this young girl will be of help.
Okay.
I don't know.
All right.
I don't really know.
We'll hear from them now. And let's hear from you, Oge, as chairperson of the Wounded Not Broken Love Foundation. Let's talk to you about that. What can you do in a situation like this? What's the hope?
There is still hope. Just as I said earlier on, the person have to seek the human right. We're not saying that the human right activists, they are not working, but to get the right person. So when you go there, you table this issue, then they will give you, definitely they will give you a lawyer, and then you move on with that person. And if it's not working, you still report back. But some people, they move and they go back. They will not report back, or they will even be tired because of the word I use. They want to save the family name. Family name are not saved when you are not saved. You have to be saved because before you talk of name. I cannot be dying and be keeping the name Oge. Oge will live and I will live. Then let Oge die. I will change my name. So that's what I feel I will tell the person.
Where can people find you? Do you have an email? Do you have a number people could call? So that, do you have lawyers working with you? Do we have that kind of collaboration going on in this Wounded Not Broken Love Foundation?
Yes, we have a lawyer working with us, and he is trying in issues that comes. Even when he cannot, sometimes he calls for a family dialogue, reason with them, discuss with them. But if the issue is lingering, he don't have option rather than they go to the court. So, and that is the only way out and the only way to move on. And also, in Wounded Not Broken Love Foundation, we meet every last Friday of every month at JP&JM apartment, 8B/8C, Egypt Road, beside Dew of Hammond Hall. And if you have issues and you feel you can discuss with any of us, you can call me on my number 080379731. You can also call Queen. If she's not able to help, she can also relate to me. You call her on 08033 111
614.
Yeah, and we encourage. In the Wounded Not Broken Love Foundation, we try to encourage. Women should understand that that widowhood and the death, that your husband is dead, you are not dead. You have to move on. Remove this cloth. Let people, and I want to say it please to the air. I don't like women talking that I'm a widow. You cannot be a widow. It's not written in your forehead. That is the invisible. It's something in you. You have to move on. There are some people that die in their husband's house that widows are far, far better off. But they cannot come out. They are privileged. The widows are privileged that they are even coming out to speak. But how many married women or men will come out and say, in my house, my husband is not providing food, or in my house, my wife is not cooking? Nobody will hear their voice. So that is why you remove that cloth that you are trying to segregate yourself. You are trying to see that the society have left you. You are trying to see yourself as an outcast, and stand up and stand tall to prove. Even when somebody called you a widow, you say, yes, I am. I did not kill my husband. I did not kill my husband. That's why I say that every woman is a potential widow. Widowhood is not witchcraft. Widowhood is not a curse. Widowhood is not an outcasting. It can be you. It can be me. It can be anyone. Thank you very much.
With no words other than that to close the program, we really need to do better as a society. These are people who, life happened. Life just happened. There's so many things, so many challenges. We all go through them, and it happened. Why we should feel threatened when our husbands want to help a widow, I don't know why. Because if he doesn't go out with a widow, he will go out with a young girl. I mean, there's so many young, beautiful women out there. And so it's not the widow that is the problem, it's the trust mechanism in your marriage. And you need to work on that. And for the men, well, you've heard the widows today. No one knows tomorrow, but if you had your way, why would you want to let your loved one go through that kind of trauma after you are gone? I would like to thank Oge Noyelum and Queen Anita Nekwe and Blessing Ajuluchukwu, Chairman, Vice Chairman, and Secretary, respectively, for coming in of the Wounded Not Broken Love Foundation, for coming in this evening.
We appreciate you, and we appreciate Invita FM.
Thank you very much.
In fact, Invita have been so wonderful to us in the course of 2 years. They call us every time of this International Widows Day. They air it free. You know what it takes to come to a media. But Invita, you are wonderful. We really appreciate you.
Thank you so much. We appreciate
it.
Thank you
we
very
also
much.
love you. We ask God to continue to uplift each and every one of you, even those who are listening, who find themselves in this situation, that you continue to stand out and stand tall.
Thank you very much.
Well, it's been a beautiful evening. Have a victorious night ahead of you.